My name is Alex Creasy. I'm a freshman at Illinois State University, and I'm an international business major.
My name is Jansen Applegate. I'm a freshman at ISU as well, and I'm a business administration major.
My name is Zoe Schmidt. I'm a junior at Illinois State, and I'm a nursing major.
My name is Tori Knutson. I'm a freshman at Illinois State, and my major is Spanish teacher education.
My name is Allie Calder. I'm a freshman at Illinois State, and my major is history and middle level education.
The reason I chose business as my major is because coming from a higher socioeconomic class, my family had the opportunity to travel multiple times and made me fall in love with the traveling aspect. Also, both my parents having a higher status job and both graduating college with a master's degree, I feel motivated to follow in their footsteps.
I also grew up in a higher socioeconomic class, therefore I would go to social business events with my parents, and I absolutely loved it. I loved going out and meeting new people and seeing new things and experiencing it, and that's partly what made me fall in love with the business world. And the business world at ISU is huge. At the State Farm Hall of Business is giant, and there's a lot of business majors here. The social life here is amazing.
With a business major, you're out meeting new people every day and you're not stuck in a cubicle. You are experiencing new things. You're also making connections with new people, and it is a very extroverted job. To tie this back to how this affects my life at ISU, in a higher socioeconomic class, you are social, and it is very important to make connections with new people.
I also want to maintain the standard of living that I'm accustomed to and the standard of living that I was accustomed to growing up. Money is definitely an influence for me. I want to improve my standard of living as much as I can, and the business world is the perfect place for that. Who you know, not so much what you know. And here at ISU, that's a huge thing. There's people going out all the time, networking and meeting new people and making connections, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Where I grew up in a very standard middle-class family. My parents were divorced most of my childhood, but they both made very average salaries. I was always at least comfortable. I chose my major because I'm very passionate about teaching, and I love speaking another language also. It's a lot of fun. In high school, I had the opportunity to teach 1st through 8th grade in various subjects, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. The Spanish aspect was always easy for me. I had really good teachers. They were really inspiring for me, and they definitely helped me to choose this Spanish teacher education path. The teaching salary is stereotypically pretty low, but I'll always love what I'm doing, and that's really what drives me for this major. Being a foreign language instructor, I will be making more money too, and that while that wasn't a deciding factor for me, that's definitely a bonus going into it. Looking at life at ISU, teaching is a relatively less difficult major, besides all the state tests that we do have to take. So our social standing is pretty middle of the road, but as far as party and social culture goes, it definitely does help to network, and it does help to make friends and partake in social events, but it's not absolutely necessary for the major.
And then my major is, like I already said, middle education, and the main aspect would be history. That would be like the main subject. I grew up in a higher economic family. Both my parents come from a medical background. The reason why I picked my major is I've always had a really high interest in history. History has also been a very easy topic for me to learn. This goes into life at Illinois State University because, like Tori already said, it's not a very hard major. For the social aspect at Illinois State University, it's easy to meet people that share the same major as you because the history and education department is so broad.
I chose this major in a large part because I love it. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I really want to do with my life. But a large part of why I chose this major is because of the money. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to just do what you love in some ways. You know, people tell you that, but then there's also this pressure in American society to make money. We talked about in class that ambivalence piece, where, like it or not, money is a contributing and important factor in American society. It influences what we do. It certainly influenced my choice. Nursing is an interesting major because it's a common major for state schools. It was in the past that very pink-collar job. If you were a female, your options were secretary or nurse. However, in recent years, nursing has changed a lot as a field. It now has really good money and has kind of changed to a job that is upper middle class. There is a lot of work involved. Although it is a higher socioeconomic status, unlike majors such as business, usually people are working up in their socioeconomic status when they're nursing majors, so it's a lot of studying, a lot of striving. There's less of the networking involved. And this really affects the culture because it is such a large major. There's a lot of studiousness, and you can, walk around campus and see people in their nursing uniforms, buried in their books.
Illinois State is a state university, which means that it typically brings a majority of middle-class students, including first-generation students. However, because of its success as a university, its central location, and the wide variety of majors, ISU has begun to attract a more broad spectrum of students.
A lot of people choose their majors with prospective money as a huge factor. In our capitalist society, money is a primary symbolic activity, using the words we discussed in class, that everyone participates in. A large focus in American society is on accumulating more money and distributing it back into the system. Consumerism is important in higher education because we want to get as much money as possible, and the social norms are what drive a lot of people to a certain major. This kind of goes back to some of the ideas consistent with the views of Marshall Solins.
One main goal that people have in college is to get a good education while not spending a lot of money. College is expensive wherever you go, so money will be spent, and some will spend more than others because some majors require more than 4 years of schooling. However, most majors that require more time spent in school are majors that will pay more money in the long run. The cost may be more, but the benefits down the road will be worth it.